5 o'clock hour of the show brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again, which has been outstanding for us this fall. Learn more at gutterhelmetmn.com.
Questions are already coming into Lavelle Neal III. He's a Friday regular, but we're moving him to today to accommodate the very busy schedule of Russo Radio. He's going to join us on the Friday Football Beast. It does seem weird to talk to Lavelle on a Thursday. I won't deny that.
Feels like the weekend should be starting.
That's very, very true. He joins us via the Connecticut Water Systems Hotline. Does it throw you off, Lavelle, to be on with us on Thursday instead of Friday?
Maybe in some other weeks, but this week I'm off, so I had a lot of flexibility.
Oh, good. Okay.
Being able to talk today wasn't a problem. What the hell does Mike Russo have going on? That he has to be elitist and free upend me here.
What's the answer on that, Guard?
So you want the life of a producer, how it goes?
Yeah.
So the Wild, I'm listening to Fallness's, never-ending show
Fallness still hasn't uttered anything from today's hockey-centric program.
Well, you know what he just texted me off the air?
What's that?
Missed Guerin. Did he say anything interesting? How about that? He didn't even listen.
What is going on with him?
He didn't even listen. So I thought, hey,
I got issues with Fallness too. I'll let you continue though. I got an issue with Fallness myself.
So I just said, the Wild are, it's Thursday. We usually have Russo on Thursdays, so let's make sure we get a Wild presence because they are red hot. And Russo texted me right back and said he's flying to Pittsburgh because he's going to be at the game tomorrow during the show. So he's in the air right now. So then I pivoted and said, let's try to get the president of Hockey Ops on. That's great. We'll maybe do Russo Friday from Pittsburgh if our guy Lavelle would be so gracious as to switch his day.
Huh?
And so those are how the puzzle pieces get put together for Bumper to Bumper today.
Well, how dare Russo schedule a flight when he's supposed to be on air? Why would he do that?
Well, it's hard to argue with Russo.
Yeah, Russo's pretty reliable.
Not only is Russo reliable, I mean, if we...
They all are.
Well, you are reliable, too.
That's true.
Won't deny that. That's a fair point. But, I mean, anytime a story breaks...
Yes.
I mean, he'll literally come on. He won't do the old, I got 4 other things to do. He'll come on. You occasionally will whine about something that you have to get done first. In the end, you'll come through. I'll grant you the point. In the end, you generally come through. I can't argue with that, Lavelle.
But thanks for your flexibility today, Lavelle, after that cheap shot.
No problem.
I appreciate it. The producer appreciates it.
Now, the Fallness thing, my Fallness issue goes back to when the last time I was at a game, when I wrote that column when I suggested that maybe we need to view the Wild differently this year. Before the game, I'm in the dining room, and I basically got shoulder barged into the wall by Fallness. And he's got this look of fear and exasperation in his face. He's like, "What are you doing here? You gonna rip us? Huh? You gonna tear us apart? Huh? You writing some yellow journalism? Huh? What you got going on?" I was like, what's your problem, man? So you're paranoid. I don't know what's going on with Fallness these days.
Yeah, very defensive. There's no question about that. And he didn't even bother to listen to Guerin. Did he listen to the start of the show? Probably not.
Haven't heard.
He'll conveniently forget all of that too. Wow, your feet are being held to the fire here early, even though I don't think this is a decision that you had anything to do with. This is from 651 guy. Dan, would you please ask Lavelle which genius at the Star Tribune decided the paper no longer covers the Olympics? Minnesota historically has more Winter Olympians than any other state, and will have top athletes this year in cross-country skiing, curling, hockey, and other sports. Love seeing Lavelle's coverage from our curling trials, but why not Italy? Yeah, Lavelle, why not Italy?
Let me try to find the best way to be diplomatic about this so I don't get in trouble with the office. The expenses, I mean, it cost a lot to go to Beijing 4 years ago, and we sent 2 people.
Yeah, we know.
And this year, excuse me?
We know we had to pay like $20,000 for your phone bill. We understand.
Well, that wasn't me. That was your decision. It had nothing to do with you making the phone call.
Oh, I know it's expensive in China. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, you were saying?
So, but it's just from a cost standpoint. They just couldn't afford. They just couldn't see the value, and it was going to be like over $20,000 per person. And you get to a point where we're making some adjustments here. We're selling our print and press, and we're going to have earlier deadlines next year, and a bunch of adjustments that are being made right now, and it just is in it. I agree with 651 guy. I did not know what was in store for me when I went to Beijing, and I had like the greatest experience of my journalism career, even after having to spend a week in close quarantine just because the guy in front of me on the plane flight tested positive when he landed. But I learned how much the Winter Olympics mean to Minnesota. There were 30 Minnesotans on the last Winter Olympics team. And every day of the Olympics, there was a curling match. And all but one day, there was a hockey match. And there were Minnesotans front and center in those two sports. So there was relevancy here every day. And I was able to see that up close and, covering skiing for the first time, looking up at this mountain going, these people are nuts if they're sliding on skis down this hill. This is crazy, but there I was at the bottom of Paula Molson, I think she finished 12th in her event.
Yeah.
And, covering curling. I've known John Schuster since 2014. So I kind of knew a little bit about his team and his backstory and everything, but covering them there front and center, that was an experience. And so I knew that we're not going. That's why it made more sense to me to go to Sioux Falls to cover the curling trials because, one, I'm not going to have access to these people once they make the Olympic team, So this is my chance of getting some FaceTime with them and kind of setting the groundwork for, interviews later on, especially with the Peterson sisters, with a good chance to go into the Olympics. And, I met Danny Casper, which ended up being prudent because he ended up beating Schuster, in the finals, and he's one step away from going to the Olympics, so he may be the guy. He's the new hotness, 24 years old, and could be the face of American curling for the next several years. So, I apologize to the readers, but, we have budgets, and we have parameters, and we have to stay within them. So if it was my decision, I would send someone to Italy. It wouldn't have to be me as long as someone from the Star Tribune was there, but I apologize in advance. I wish we were there. It just isn't feasible.
I had a follow-up for you on what was it going to be, Olympic related? No, I think it was actually going to be Lavelle underwear related. This is sad because you had such a great experience covering the Olympics, and I can relate because that was my favorite event to cover. Actually, Winter Olympics even more than summer, but my word association, when you say Beijing Olympics, I think Lavelle's underwear. That's it. That's my word association because I'll never get past that story you told us.
And now I'm deprived of, because I probably would have purposely packed underwear for Italy just so I could go buy some fine Italian underwear to bring back with me. And I can't do that now.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? The texter does have a football question for you as we move away from the Olympics and your underwear here. 612 guy notes seven Packer wide receivers all listed as questionable, or does he mean 7 Packers are? I think there's more than 7, so maybe he means wide receivers as questionable, as well as, he does mean wide receivers, as well as several cornerbacks and LBs, as well as Parsons with a pec injury. Jacobs also questionable. Are the Packers soft and gettable this Sunday? Is this actually a trap game for the Packers and a great opportunity for the Vikings to shock the world?
It's possible. Green Bay's weird, man. I was able to find a Vikings bar last Sunday to watch the Vikings-Bears game before I covered the curling finals. And, of course, when people found out I was a Bears fan, they started cringing a little bit. But actually, there's a funny story about that. I don't know if I should tell it. I'm telling it anyway. The owner of the bar I went to, called Gibbs in Sioux Falls, their family's friends with Lester Bagley. Okay? So the bartender takes a picture of me at the bar. He sends it to Bagley. Within 10 minutes, Bagley responds. He goes, that gentleman is a Bears fan. Tell him he can cheer, but cheer quietly.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious. So, I ended up having a good time, but there were a couple of Packer fans there, and I'm kind of watching a Packer-Giants game, and I just told the guys, how come Green Bay can't beat bad teams? Because they were struggling. It took everything for them to knock off the Giants, and, they got to worry about Josh Jacobs' knee. They got to worry about Jordan Love's shoulder. And, the receivers are banged up. Can Christian Watson stay on the field? It seems like he gets hurt every week, So it's not when you play him, it's when you catch him. And right now, the Packers are banged up, and that could play a role in Sunday's game. But on the flip side, did Grenard practice today?
He was upgraded, I think, to questionable. I don't know if he was a full participant or not. Didn't he get upgraded by one slot, I think.
He may have, yeah.
We'll
they
double
won't have
check
the
it.
designation yet, but
I'll tell you what we'll do.
I'll see if I can find the report.
Lava, we need to pause anyway, so we'll let you continue your thought, and then we'll get in a couple of other things as we get segment number 2 with Lavelle. Dr. Dan's inbox will indeed follow, and we'll give you the very latest Grenard-related information. Don't go away.
Man.
Join Nordo Gray's Food Hall, downtown Minneapolis. Awesome spot for a Purple Watch Party this Sunday. The party kicks off at noon with Minnesota taking on Green Bay. He'll have great food and drinks. Well, there will be great food and drinks there. And your shot to win awesome prizes every single quarter. Get all the details now at KFAN.com. Make the keyword calendar.
Inbox spot of the hour, a bit more with Lavelle. Switching days this week with Russo Radio, who will join us tomorrow. I rudely interrupted you in mid-thought. Where were we when we last left?
We were talking about injuries.
Injuries, that's it, yeah, and the Packers having a slew of them.
Yeah, I'm counting 18 Packers on the injury report right now. That's a lot. That's a third of our damn roster.
That sounds like, didn't Belichick used to do that, where he put like almost everybody on there just because he was annoyed that he had to do it at all, and he got into, I don't know if he ever
Brady was on with a shoulder injury for like 12 years.
Yeah, well, that's sad, but true. Your Monsters of the Midway get it done in dramatic fashion. So I ask you this every week. Are you starting to believe, or do you still come away from that game the way the Bears gave the Vikings a chance to steal it as a sign that it's a cute record, but it really doesn't amount to much?
It wasn't a defining victory, and it wasn't an emphatic win either. You know, it was one of those last second things which has come to define the Bears season. They have been the cardiac Bears this year, and not just fourth quarter stuff, like last second stuff. They blocked a field goal in against the Raiders at the last second to win the game. Colson Loveland scored that touchdown in Cincinnati as the clock ran out. You know, you got the Vikings game last week, with time running out and the Bears winning. So that's been like their modus operandi. And it seems like there's a team or two every year who live that way. So the record, you are what you said. Your record says you are. And the Bears are 7-3. Do they look like they're a threat to make a playoff run? No, they got too many holes. They really don't have a left tackle. The secondary's been banged up. Although the practice window for both Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon has now opened, so they're both practicing now. So there's hope that maybe they'll be ready, not by this week, but by next week against Philadelphia. So we'll see. We haven't seen the most healthy Bears team yet. We haven't seen them at their best yet to get an idea of what this defense can do. Because if those two players can boost the defense and they get a little bit of pass rush, then there's something you can kind of hang your hat on. There's nothing you can hang your hat on about this Bears team other than that the running game. They've got a capable running game now because they fixed the interior of the defensive line. This is going to be a big test going down the stretch here because in order they have Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Green Bay, Cleveland, Green Bay, San Francisco, and the Lions. It gets noticeably tougher, and we'll find out what this team is going to be made of going forward. But yeah, I'm going to tip my cap that they're 7-3 because it's better to be 7-3 than to be in the situation the Vikings are in right now.
If the Vikings trail by 10 or more at halftime at Lambeau, do you start Max Brosmer in quarter 3?
You asking me this question or Guardsy?
Well, I already know Guardsy's answer.
Yeah, why wait till the third is my answer.
That's exactly it. So how about you?
Dan, here's where I'm at with the Vikings. I doubt seriously that they're going to make the postseason. I don't see it. Maybe they can get the 9 wins, but they're going to have some good fortune. Their schedule gets tougher too moving forward. To me, we're at the point where it's all about developing JJ over victories because I just don't see how they can get on the run they need to get on in order to make hay here. They're at the bottom of the division. They got past the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears. Can they get to 10 wins from where they're at right now? I just don't see it. And if you can't get to 10 wins, I think you got to start thinking about big picture. And it becomes, JOE, JJ over everything. And it's going to be about him getting as many reps, as many data points, as many teaching moments, in his box here as possible, so this program can move forward, in the future. That's where I'm at with this. I just think no one wants to see Brosman. It's about getting JJ up to being an adequate NFL quarterback at least. That's the goal here.
What about trading for Mac Jones in the offseason?
I do think they're going to have to bring in competition. Now, I think that will help. That will push JJ to be the best he can be. So I do think they need to bring in a capable quarterback during the offseason, either by trade or if they can sign one as a free agent. But I don't know what their cap situation is next year, if they can afford to throw $12 million at someone who may up be in the backup. I think it was fine last year because they had the space. And I think the plan was all along for Darnold to be a guy, right? Even with JJ, if JJ had been healthy. So, but I think they got to bring in some competition for the young man next year. And I just want to maintain everyone here. I'm pro JJ McCarthy. I love him in Michigan. I love the background. Could I be biased because he's from Chicago area? Maybe. But there's talent there, and there's leadership skills there. And I was there in Chicago for week 1. And listening to how the players talk about him and what type of influence he is in the huddle and the belief they have in him, there is something about him that has players gravitating toward him. He's got some charisma. He's got something about him that says this guy could be a leader. He just needs the experience, man. So we just need the fermentation process. We're watching the fermentation process go on before our eyes. And this is yet the latest example about how it's so hard to win and develop at the same time, especially when you're developing the toughest position in sports, which is an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, which is a reminder that the Vikings miscalculated spectacularly in that regard.
They all did, because I had them winning 12 games.
You did?
Because I thought the defense was going to be lights out, and it was going to be enough for JJ to eke out wins.
I don't remember how many
I didn't read that one right either.
We had, Guardsy. Do you remember our picks? I don't even remember.
I was probably at 10-7.
Maybe I was
maybe
too.
11-6.
Have you recently, and I know this is kind of a personal question, but have you recently attempted to rewire any or all of your neurological pathways?
Does drinking bourbon count as an attempt to do that?
Well, actually, it might. That's a good answer. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. I don't think they're doing the kid any help, man. At this, he's doing himself any good with some of the ways they talk about. Just they're better off with Zimmer. We got to break them. We got to do better on a couple habits. We got to get fundamentally a little tougher, and we just got to go out and make more plays. It's boring, but they'd be better off saying that.
You were on this crotchety old coach kick. You want Jock Lemaire to come back and take over the Wild.
I do, actually.
And now you want Zimmer back to run the Vikings.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that right now, sometimes, Lavelle, I think, and I know this is contrary to what we in the media tend to like, less is more in managing a crisis. And I think these guys come from the belief that you crisis manage by offering up each day platitudes and these extended layered word salads that I don't really think get us anywhere.
Oh, don't say that around KLC. Yeah, that's the subject with him.
Yeah, I know it is. I don't know. I'm not sure at this point I'm not even going to get any water next year at training camp. I'm a little worried about that.
Bring your own.
I might have to bring my own water, yeah.
The thing is, Suhan took it one step further. He was like, word salad? No, it was more like a verbal rainforest.
No, yeah.
With KLC.
Yeah.
That was back when they were in Europe,
That's
on the Europe swing, and
yeah.
he was talking about JJ. And, yeah, JJ hasn't done himself any favors. The whole I go into a phone booth and I come out with as, not JJ, but as number 9. I was like, oh, man, why'd you go there? People aren't going to forget that, especially this radio station. They're not going to forget the 9. That's going to be stuck with him forever.
I'll leave you with this, Lavelle. This is from Clayton, a longtime listener in Rochester. Lavelle Lingerie, what can the Twins even pay? What did KOC say? McCarthy is 9. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's actually quite good. That's quite good.
The fact that Anthony Edwards has started this. He's the reason this exists.
He's the reason the bid exists. You're 100% right. Are you ever coming back to work? When's your first column back?
Probably next Wednesday for Thursday. So I'll be back on the scene early next week. And then I'm in Seattle for the Sam Darnold revenge game.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a good trip. It's an outstanding trip.
Seattle's a pretty cool town, man. If you get stuck in the wrong part of downtown, you're going to be walking up a huge hill. But it's a good eating town, great restaurants.
No question.
And I've had a lot of good times in Seattle.
Yeah, me as well. All right, thanks for the help. Thanks for your flexibility this week. And we will, we won't chat probably before Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. In fact, we won't chat next Friday because I'm off next Friday. So when you get next week off, unless we move some things around, we only have, I think, 2 days at this point.
Are you best up next Friday?
I'm sorry? No, I think we got games.
Yeah, I think it's football and basketball and stuff.
Yeah, I think we actually have live sporting events on Friday.
Oh, that's right. Bears Eagles are Friday. It's Friday.
Oh, is that a Black Friday game?
Yes, I believe so.
That's big. That's huge. All right, well, enjoy the football and enjoy the holiday, and we'll talk soon.
Take care, my friend. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Lavelle Neal III, maybe a slightly abbreviated Dr. Dan's Inbox. That is coming up next.
Time now for the Vikings Report on The Fan, presented by Miller Lite. Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen joins Dan Barrero next.
Final segment of the show wrap presented by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the bumper-to-bumper show wrap.
Is it Vikings Live at 6? What do we have coming up at 6 o'clock tonight?
The Minnesota Vikings podcast with Tatum Everett, Eric Nordquist, and special guest David Sinekin for Border Battle
Week.
They're
doing the Border Battle bid. Huh?
Border Battle, and then Vikings Tailgate with Cy Amundsen.
I think they're playing possum with us in Green Bay about all the injuries, because I'm told by good sources they've been doing this a lot this year, and that most of those players will end up playing. I don't think the tight end can play, but I think several of the other ones can.
He's out for the year.
The interesting one will be Jacobs, the running back, who I think when the week began, everybody assumed he was out. I think he's listed as questionable now. And I think he did practice. Was it yesterday or today? One of the two. Did we ever get an update on Grenard? I meant to look it up myself.
He was limited in practice today after not participating yesterday.
Gotcha. And he is currently listed as questionable, I thought.
I didn't think they did the designations until Friday. They don't do it.
Okay, you might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm projecting there. That could very well be. Yeah, because he missed last week. We could use him this week.
Yeah, he's our
the
best
weather,
pass
though,
rusher.
is not supposed to be. I think the forecast is like here, kind of balmy for this time of year, like 50s. And I don't think any precip. I'm not sure about wind at Lambeau Field. Let me remind you. Well, actually, we can go ahead and get to this week's edition of a Dr. Dan's Inbox, and then we'll give you some details about what's coming up later tonight, and also on tomorrow's Friday Football Beast edition.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, it's been a busy offseason, but even a baseball guy needs a little variety, so I've been sneaking in some Minnesota Vikings football, and let me tell you, I can't help but notice the effective fastball of one JJ McCarthy. The velocity, the command under pressure. If I didn't know better, I'd say he's throwing like a seasoned closer. So here's my question, Dr. Dan. If this whole football thing doesn't pan out for JJ McCarthy, do you think there's a chance he could slide into a bullpen role for the Twins? We know JJ McCarthy doesn't have an off-speed pitch. Put in the bullpen.
Wow.
But in the bullpen, you don't really need one. You just need to throw heat. As you may know, we have plenty of openings in the bullpen since August, and finding someone who can deliver heat when the game's on the line is no small task. Just wondering if I should keep an eye on the waiver wire or the Vikings depth chart. Always looking for a cheap player, D. Falvey.
He strikes me, does Jay McCarthy, as a guy who played several sports growing up, or was he already, well, he's had a position coach since he was 6. The guy who got in trouble earlier this week included, so maybe not. Maybe he was a guy who specialized early. I don't remember anything about Jay McCarthy's high school athletic pursuits, if they went beyond the game of football.
I mean, I doubt they did, because he played in Illinois for a minute, and then he went to IMG, right? He went straight to...
He's definitely one of those manufactured guys,
yes,
for sure.
The Manchurian candidate.
Well, yeah, you could
Something like that.
You could say that,
How
too.
about Salisbury? I liked how he put it. I'm big on mechanics, but not robotics.
Yeah.
That's an
That's a good way to
interesting
put it.
distinction. It's a
Yeah.
good distinction.
Yeah. Free the clutter. No, kill the clutter. Whatever the
Clean the clutter
clean
out.
the clutter out is what he kind of said.
What was the method
but
that was?
they're making it sound like it's more than clutter, though. They're making it sound like if he doesn't do A, B, C, and D, then he's going to continue to complete 50% of his passes. So I don't know what to believe. I do know Dr. Dan got a couple of texts the other day from people saying, run the same offense you ran at the end of the game. And I didn't run this by Salisbury, although he kind of did say, well, you saw how he played late. Maybe you give him less to think about, fewer choices, and you just let him react. The comeback to that from football people most of the time is that's not realistic over the course of a 60-minute game. That's going to catch up with you, and you're going to get pounded. Maybe in the short term, you do go more, quick huddle, or in and out of the huddle, or not even huddling at all. I don't know. But I sooner or later, if you're going to be a big-time quarterback, you have to be able to do it in many different facets and many different situations, not just the old, we're going to line up and we're just going to, I'm going to throw it wherever I think somebody's open.
Remember the very fashionable Marie Kondo method for decluttering? It was all the rage like 5 years ago. I'm sure we talked about it on Enough Said.
Yes.
And everybody was trying to do it. And then the best part about it, the end of the story was Marie Kondo had children and then realized it's impossible. Like what she was asking. Which I thought was
a box.
It was the greatest
that's
box
the
of all time because everyone was killing themselves because let's do Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
Let's do that method and everything's going to be fine. And then she had kids. She's like, well, this isn't feasible. No one can do this. Well, yeah, Marie, thanks for ruining it for all of us. I bring it up because we need that for
That's
JJ.
True. It's feasible, but then you're going to have a lot of unhappy children and nothing, and you'll be giving them nothing else to do.
It depends on what you prioritize.
Well, yeah,
I guess. Clean house or happy children.
Yes. Somebody, Hendo, saying Jay McCarthy said he was a hockey guy as a kid.
That's right.
And so he was
that.
instantly in Tenna's good graces at that point. Yeah, we did love that whole
I feel
persona.
like that was even him, though, just packaging himself.
When he played hockey, did he wear the eye black?
Probably.
It probably did.
Yeah.
Probably. Even in indoor arenas?
It's cold, though, when you meditate on the ice. You got to make sure you have your breezers.
It's no question about that.
Time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every
Dear Dr. Dan, get a room already. What am I listening to right now? Compliments, pats on the back, softball questions. Since when did you roll out the Davenport of love with GMs in this town? You spend 3/4 of the show ripping Jay McCarthy and Kay O'Connell, then allow B. Guerin to throw out the fact that the Wild started the season 3-9. Their star player had a worse start than ours, Dr. Dan. So while you give B. Guerin multiple seals of approval, I'm going to continue to collaborate without the clutter. Let me know when Jay McCarthy is out of your doghouse, and we can talk about the explosives he's throwing and using every blade of grass. And tell C. Carter the only ring he has is the one of honor from this storied franchise. Did B. Guerin just call you buddy? He's right. You have changed, Dr. Dan.
Wow.
K.A. Mensa.
Well, I tried to get him going on Uroff on the doghouse.
He's not in the doghouse.
He's not in the doghouse. What are you talking about? Doghouse.
He just missed a couple games.
He missed a couple games. I'm sure there is such a thing as a Bill Guerin doghouse. I don't think there's any question about that, even though he might not want to always admit to it. Dr. Dan was a little soft on the GM today because I think you got to let him breathe a little bit. I mean, we haven't won anything yet, but we have had an improving performance lately. We are climbing the standings a bit, and we may well have one of those pleasant goaltender problems, two goalies that we can indeed depend on, including the kid. And maybe that's the comeback for KOC, is that the reputation on Volstead coming into this season was what? Bust. Might not be as much there as we thought there was, as highly regarded as he was. And what is the message there, perhaps? Sometimes it does take time. As we talked about earlier in the show, the box that the Vikings themselves created was they had to understand they're putting their quarterback in an unfair position this year because their intention, no matter what they tell you now, was that we're going to do this on the fly with the kid and be successful immediately That's how much we believe in the quarterback whisperer and the supporting cast that we've put around him. Now, they didn't account for injuries. I get that. But they put themselves they put themselves in a box as far as I'm concerned. And none of that means JJ McCarthy can't be great later, but it means that this season is pretty close to lost unless you go to the Bay and win and go to Seattle and win.
Sounds like Ryan Kelly's going to play.
That's
center.
helpful, yeah.
He's activated, it sounds like. They got rid of Dwight McGlothern to make room for him, so we'll see. Only time
Has he
will
got to
tell.
wear that cap,
Davey.
one of those
I hope
concussion
so,
caps?
because in all seriousness, I'm worried about that.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you not be?
No, how can you not be, for sure?
It's time for Dr.
I like this one. I got to be careful with this one.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, Minnesota sports fans have been dodging me for years, but it feels like I'm piling up now more than ever. Posture, poise, pupils, passes, base, balance, body, balls, rewiring pathways. The cement needs to dry. Being in process, on track, and back in process. What does any of this stuff even mean, Dr. Dan? I'm having a tough time with the stench from all of this. Sincerely, B.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
Really good.
That's well done. That's a good compilation of the word salad, right? Or the mantras or the sayings. That might inspire me to go even deeper to try to get to the bottom of each and every one of them going back several months. This came in while Lavelle was on. This is from Robert and speaks, I think, largely to the same subject. Instead of O'Connell's endless sloganeering, analytics, scripted plays, eyes and feet and eyes, how about he devise a simple, efficient game plan for what the quarterback can actually do well at this stage of his young career? Head coach is not doing the young quarterback any favors. Well, that's going to be the ultimate test, right? Because he's obviously worked well with veteran quarterbacks, right? He has. There's no question about that. He's resurrected careers, including that of S. Darnold. But do we have any history of him working great with a young quarterback? Not yet. It may come. It may just be a matter of time, but it hasn't happened yet. And as we said earlier in the show, this is probably the key, the single most significant decision for the head coach and for his general manager in terms of how long they're in their jobs with the Minnesota Vikings. Because this has to work out, does it not? Now, I guess you could say they could survive if at the end of the year they open the door to somebody else like a Mac Jones and they save it that way. You can save it, I guess, the way the 49ers did, right? But the advantage the 49ers had was didn't Lance get hurt? And that's what opened the door to Purdy playing.
I feel like it was his ankle. Did he break his ankle?
Yes, that made it easy to go to Purdy, and then you say, okay, well, we've discovered electricity here. This is a little bit of a different situation.
Let's do a couple of walk-offs here, including one that I absolutely love.
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Oh, wait. Dear Dr. Dang it. Dear Doc. All right, I can do this. Here we go. Dear Dr. Dan, do you know the snap count? B. O'Neal.
Wow. Poor guy. Well, somebody texted earlier that now we got better at that. We only had one false start last week, right?
It led to the 50-foot over the JJ head pass.
It did. It
37.
did. I will say this though. Dr. Dan didn't think our cadences were as complicated, and I wonder if that made it easier for the Bears defense to read what we were and even maybe project what we were up to. Because my guess is we had to dumb it down a little bit in that regard. So the week before was the bigger week on that.
It's time for Dr.
Two more quickies.
Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, we noticed that your segment with Lavelle Neal has not been sponsored for some time. We are very interested, given his proclivities in Beijing. We could diversify our marketing if we get him on board. The Secret.
Well, there was talk about Italian underwear with Lavelle, correct? Well, somebody said they did not have on the bingo card.
There's
for
always
Lavelle.
a wild
always
card.
something.
There's always a wild card.
Designer Italian undies.
You guys all missed
Did
when...
he tell us? He's a boxer guy, isn't he? I think we've discussed this with Lavelle before, I'm embarrassed to say.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you're
I
right.
think
We have. Yeah, we have established that.
That's right.
I know
Yeah.
that Lavelle is a boxer. Is it a boxer brief
No,
or boxers?
I think he's just a flat-out
Straight
boxer guy. Yeah.
All right. And lastly here,
It's time for Dr. Dan's Inbox.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Dear Dr. Dan, I just want to go on a regular walk. J. McCarthy's dog.
That's brilliant. That is such a good callback. If you don't know what that refers to, Google JJ McCarthy dog and extra reps. And the quote it is related to will come up. Another example of we got too much stuff going on with this kid. Just go play football. Go make some plays, man. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. And the legend and the mythology will happily follow. You just got the sequencing wrong at this point, I think. Good overview. Good work on the inbox. Vikings podcast, you said, is following us, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then we've got Thursday Night Football on the Fan as well, and that's a decent matchup. Buffalo is at Houston, so it's an AFC game tonight, gun belt tight. The Beast tomorrow will include picks with Gerby. I wonder if I did any better. Yeah, I think I actually did better with the coin flip or the car key fob flip.
Oh, is that what you did?
That's what I went with last week because I was 0-3 again. I think I ended up getting the Bears game right because of that. Ben Gessling is scheduled to join tomorrow. We will certainly, I think, ask him how often he has attempted to rewire his neurological pathways.
I bet Gessling has.
I don't deny it. I don't doubt it.
He's
You're
smart
100%
enough to
right.
do it.
And then Russo often joins us on Thursday, but this week with Lavelle today, we'll have another edition of Russo Radio tomorrow as well. So that's the lineup for the moment. Could that change? Yeah, it's possible, but that's a pretty good lineup start indeed to finish. Thank you for texting today. Thank you for being a part of today's proceedings. You're out again tomorrow.
I am.
Because you've got Gopher football to chase at Wrigley Field. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
And but you are going to be hanging around long enough to do enough set. Is that correct as well?
That's the plan.
That's the plan right now.
Got to get to the airport.
All right. So tomorrow, Blakemore will be back with me at 3 o'clock. We hope you join us then. Hope you have a very pleasant evening.
Go get them, Glenn. Show us what you can do.